Welcome back to Sagas of the Paired Lands, if you have, been following along with the Session Zeros. This is Pathfinder 2nd Edition, and the Paired Lands, as I've mentioned previously, and I'll mention this every time, and I'll mention it again on Session 1 in a little bit more depth. The Paired Lands are two continents that 1,000 or so years ago were separated by an entire just stream and torrent of storms in between the two continents that made sailing between them impossible. That cleared up. A few centuries of warfare later, things are mostly peaceful, besides the Khanate, the Yurtau Khanate, causing a lot of problems with their raiding and that sort of thing. But there's a tentative peace between most of the nations, besides that, even if some of the nations are more city-states than anything. This Session 0 will be following Aerin, played by Greentron. Now, why don't you describe Aerin a little bit, and tell us about the circumstances here before we get into where you're starting.
So, to start off with, he's a Sarenrae cleric. Physically speaking, he's tall, slender, and most notably has green hair. That stands out a lot. But the main thing is that he's an amnesiac and has no clue what's going on. He just woke up.
Indeed he did. So, this is actually happening about a month, not quite a month, but a little bit around then, before we have the other characters of Xenovera and Briar arriving in Riverford, on a shoreline just outside the town, actually, just a short away. Now, this shoreline is on the river, and the river is quite large at this section, and it's right at the edge of the forest. Now, Aerin, first thing he realizes is that he's hearing the sound of waves, just quietly moving. And the second thing is the pain of being kicked in the side, and a older woman's voice speaking to him. Hey! Kid, you live?
Oh,
good. Not dead. I was worried there for a second.
Is he just, currently on the ground right now?
Yes, he's currently laying in the sand. Now, first things to be noted are that the clothing that Aerin is wearing is tattered and quite grimy, though it did look to have been quite fine at one point, though, well, not anymore. In his hand is a symbol of Sarenrae, and besides that, he's just sort of laying on the beach.
He's gonna start the process of standing up. Hopefully it's not too painful.
The woman, offers a hand to help him up. She's tall, about 6'4", and well-muscled.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. What you doing out here?
He's just, holding his temple and trying to think.
That's when you realize that you have shooting pain going through most of your body, and you've lost about 12 health in the process of waking up here. Not for being kicked, but just, being injured on the whole thing, so you're not feeling.
I can't remember what I was doing. Did you take me here?
No, I found you here. What's your name?
And he thinks for a little bit longer. Aerin, I think.
You think?
No, I'm pretty sure.
But you're not completely sure, is what you're telling me.
No, I guess not. Aerin something. What's the last name?
You alright there, kid? I mean, bleeding a little bit, but...
It hurts, but I'm fine. I'll be fine.
Come over here and sit down, why don't you?
Yeah, thank you. And he'll sit down wherever.
Yeah. She just moved over to the shoreline that actually has some grass on it and sat down as well.
So, you're saying you just found me here?
Yep. I mean, it's not every day that a body washes up on the shore, so I figured I'd check.
Then I guess you wouldn't know anything, huh?
No, I wouldn't. Name's Ricky, though. Nice to meet you.
Ricky. Well, I guess you already know that. Anyways,
yeah.
Nice to meet you too. And he holds out his hand.
She shakes his hand, firm grip and all that.
Well, I have to thank you for finding me and leaving me peaceful, I guess.
What, not clubbing you over the head and taking whatever you got on you?
Yeah, essentially that.
Yeah, why would I? You look like you don't got much with you.
I'm gonna.
She
He's,
laughs.
he's just gonna start quickly checking his pockets. Does he have anything?
Uh, not much. There's an old lantern that's still sealed with a jellyfish in it. And I mean, most of your most of what you have on your character sheet, equipment-wise, is there. But
Mhm. Anything particular missing, like a weapon or?
well, you don't have a weapon, I don't think. But if you do, yeah, no, you don't have a weapon.
Okay. Well, guess I. Yeah, I'm trying to remember, but I really can't figure out anything about why I'm here.
Well, hmm. What can you do, kid? You got anything special about you that you can remember? Anything at all?
It just looks at the symbol of Sarenrae and just. I think I have some magic. Let me. He's gonna like look down at some of his wounds if there's any noticeable ones.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's mostly bruises and bashes and that sort of thing, but there's a couple of small scrapes and that sort of thing. It looks as though you were. You'll notice the shoreline is quite rocky. It looks as though you were hit against those a couple of times before landing on the actual sand.
Let me try something real quick, and I'm gonna cast heal on myself.
Yep. Action heal, I assume.
Yeah.
Yep.
Me have to find it and then press the button. Theoretically, this will just work. Did that roll?
Yeah, no, it didn't. However, the problem with heal is that you need to set it as damage, and then you can set the damage type to healing. It would be a D8 plus 8.
Let's just roll D8 plus 8 then.
As a yeah, the thing is that heal changes depending on how many actions it is, so it's easier just to roll the dice. Hey, look at that! You're fully healed.
There we go. That's a lot better.
Well, that is something, all right. Not what most people are capable of, anyway.
Oh. Let me just look at all of my other spells. Oh, as far as I can tell, that's, I think, the main thing that I know how to do. I have some other ideas, but...
Hmm.
Do you, know where we are?
Well, yeah. She holds up a basket that, well, it's more of like a satchel that she's been holding like around her back that she just sort of turns and opens. I'm collecting roots, herbs, and that sort of thing for my brewing down back at the tavern in not too far from here, down in Riverford. You ever got any memory of Riverford?
Do I have any idea about this, world's... No.
You know, like, if countries are mentioned or capitals are mentioned, yes, but you don't know anything about Riverford.
Mm-hmm. Can't say that I've heard of it, sorry.
Not too surprising. It's a smaller town. Riverway that leads down towards Sparber. Well, you don't got any notation on you? Nothing that tell you where you're supposed to be going?
I'm afraid not.
Hmm.
If you don't mind, I think I'd like to travel with you back to town.
Well, that was
Try
the
to find
idea.
somewhere.
Fact, kid. Just happens that I was looking for somebody to help me work the bar when I'm not there.
Hmm.
So, till you figure out where you're supposed to be, how about you do that?
Yeah, sure, that sounds like a good deal. Still just
Fantastic.
rubbing his head a little bit, the headache's dying down, I guess.
Fantastic. You'll be paid just like any other worker, and you can leave whenever you figure out where you need to go. Until then, help me pick some ingredients, will ya? Just looking for some roots of those nearby bushes and that sort of thing. No need to get through all of them. She pulls a knife out of her jacket and just sort of offers it towards you.
He takes it.
Yeah.
So just look around and grab whatever looks like it could be useful then.
Indeed. What skills do you have for this sort of thing, if anything?
Let's see. Character sheet. Not familiar with this, so.
Yeah, that's why we're going through it.
My good skills, acrobatics, arcana is good, medicine is very good.
Medicine
Religion,
would be
very
good for this.
Nature is 4, but no proficiencies. It's just
Mhm.
nature 4.
In this case, medicine would be applicable looking for that sort of thing.
Let's just go ahead and roll that then.
Yep.
Spend my time collecting. All right. It's not a great roll, but
Your memory is foggy on these sort of things, but you do sort of instinctually end up picking out some roots and berries and that sort of thing that are serviceable. Though when you give them back to Riki, she looks at them, looks back at Aerin, and then just like shrugs. These are more for medicines, but yeah, I can work with this.
you said you were a brewery, right?
Yeah. I make a kind of ale down there on my own, stuff that's not imported. So
Yeah, that I can. All right, I'll keep that in mind then.
yeah.
Well,
Anyway.
I've been out here for a little while now, right?
Let's head back to town then. I'll show you the way, obviously, since I don't think you know it. And if you did have your memory.
He just nods and will quietly follow.
Indeed. And so, you head back towards Riverford. Riki leads you to the bar and just sort of... She hops over it, but points towards one of the gates if Aerin doesn't want to do so, since, you know, given the situation.
Nah, he'd much rather just calmly walk through.
Exactly. Give me a second. So you get back there, and she just sort of goes through the various things. One on the left is the cheap stuff. One in the middle here is the stuff I make, and the one on the right is more expensive. All right.
Yeah. Okay.
So there's the three types we offer. If people say cheap stuff, you get in that. Easy enough. It's copper. This one's a silver. That one's a gold per pint. We good?
Nods.
Good. So
Just these three. That's all.
yeah, it's a small town. Most people don't care too much what they drink here. Not getting any nobility here who care what kind of wine they're getting.
That definitely makes sense. All right.
Alright. So, second part of your job? You got a lot of ships that come through here with different shipments and that sort of thing. Now, I said I wanted you to work the bar when I'm not here, but while I am here, you can carry things to the tables, or, depending on what day it is, you can go pick stuff up from incoming ships.
Alright.
Saves me a lot of time.
Well,
Should be one,
certainly don't mind.
getting here quarter hour, half hour. Take a look around town while you go wait for it.
Sure thing. Certainly have to say I don't mind just being immediately offered a job. This is quite nice. Thank you.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Can't just leave you laying out there in the sands without any way to, make your way in the world, you know?
Well, either
Besides,
way,
you
I'm
remind me
grateful.
of someone.
Is that so?
Yeah, been a while, but you do remind me of him.
Do you mind my asking, or is that
Mind a little bit, but it doesn't really matter. They're not from around here. Yeah, don't worry too much about the details of it. It's just you look like somebody from either Bailu or somewhere else out there. Not from Kiragrad, that's for sure.
Is that the name of the continent, or?
Kiragrad is the name of the country that you are currently in, the Kiragrad Republic.
Yeah. So I'm familiar with that.
Yeah, you know when she says Kiragrad, you recognize Kiragrad Republic. Yeah, you recognize you don't have any sort of opinions on that are just immediately brought up through the memory, but you know it exists as a country.
Got it. So did you want me to man the bar right now, or?
No, like I said, get out into town, walk around a little bit, maybe some memories will come. If they don't, you can pick some crates up from the ship and bring them back.
All right. Well, I can go ahead and do that then. I'll go ahead and just wave, and it's well, I'll see you in an hour or so.
Yeah, around that. There's a hand cart out in the shed. If you grab that, make it easier on yourself.
All right. Until I'll go ahead and leave the bar.
All right.
So where is the shed? Is it just out to the side?
Yeah, it's just out to the side back here. It's not on the map because it's unnecessary.
Hmm. Yeah. What does the shed look like? Just out of general curiosity. Just
It's a mid-sized shed. It looks to be used for storage of various things, mostly tools, has a wide open area, and a secondary door on the inside that looks to be for storing animals and livestock when they're not around. It's pretty small, though, for, storing an animal, so it's probably not for long stays and that sort of somewhere to keep one or two. The handcart that is mentioned is actually outside, right by the door.
okay. I'll go ahead and take that and then start to walk into town. I guess, is there anything that just immediately stands out to me?
Well, it depends what you're looking for. The only stone building in town is the one on your side there with the fancy sign outside and the door and that sort of thing. It looks to be mostly a pawn shop or an appraisal shop. Has more. It's the only building that looks to be like a proper business in this area of town that isn't just the tavern. There's the dock house down on the actual docks where sailors go in and out every now and then. And then there's the fountain. But besides that, it's a very quiet town, to say the least.
I imagine for like 10 or so minutes, he's just going to be like kind of aimlessly walking around looking at things and very much looks lost to anyone looking at him, but and if nothing happens that 10 minutes, then I'll go ahead and go over to the ship and look for cargo.
Nobody seems to pay much mind to Aerin as he walks around the town. Occasionally he gets a look as people are, notice the green hair, but that's about it.
Mm. I'll go ahead and go over here.
Mm-hmm.
Hey there.
The man in front of you is holding a board with a paper on it and various things, and he's just marking it off as people are unloading cargo from the ship.
Was there a shipment for Ricky, was it?
Yep. It's supposed to go down to the bar, just out that way. Yep, I can see it from here. You're here to pick it up.
Yeah, I'm a delivery man, I guess, so.
Alright, fair enough. Just write your name here, next to the shipment here.
Sure, and he'll just write down Aerin.
Yep. Those crates there, marked with the blue mug, those go there.
Alright, well, thank you. And we'll go ahead and just head over and do that.
Yep.
I assume this is just, like, completely quiet, like, pretty uneventfully, just like, well, I guess I'm doing work.
It's pretty quiet stuff going on here.
And he'll make his way back to the tavern with the stuff.
Indeed.
Yeah. Hey, I'm back.
Excellent. She hops over the bar and just begins picking up the crates one by one, just putting them on the counter itself. You can go put that handcart out back. I got some questions for you that might, I don't know. Just some ideas, really.
Well, sure thing. I'll be back in a minute. Return the shopping trolley, be a good citizen.
As everybody knows, people who don't return the shopping trolleys where they're supposed to and leave them in the parking lot are terrible people! By the time Aerin returns, she's already moved all of the boxes into a back room very quickly. Didn't seem like they weighed much to her at all.
Very strong, alright. I guess since he doesn't like the idea of just being, out front like a customer, I'll go ahead and follow back here.
Right. So, wanted to ask you, kid. Said your name was Aerin, right? Wanted to ask you, Aerin.
Yeah.
So, how'd you know what routes to pick up?
Well, I guess it just kind of came to me, I guess. I think I'm familiar with medicines and stuff like that.
I see.
And he's also gonna look. Do I see the doctor's kit or healer supplies?
You do have healer supplies. They're in basically a carrying thing that goes around waist and side. Yeah.
I'll also like pull that out. It's like, and based on this, I guess I probably did know something about using these.
Hmm. Well, that's good news then.
Mm.
Now, it's not too far from, making a medicine or something isn't too far from brewing ale in the first place, but beyond that, maybe you can help out with some other stuff around here as well.
Or you need a doctor for something?
Well,
Or
I
do you have other
don't.
stuff in mind?
I don't, not usually, but some people who come in here do, right?
Mm.
Sometimes patrons get injured on the seas or even just walking around town. Now, normally, they just try to drink some ale to dull the pain because we don't have a town doctor around here. But I can start letting people know that you can at least try and patch them up. And if it doesn't work out with the tools, then you could just use a little bit of that magic of yours.
I'll just smile at the thought, like, okay, I have something to do here. That's good.
Yeah. I'll start spreading the word around town, and now the reason I mention this, she whistles, and one of the guys sitting over at the table looks and walks over. This is John. He came in on that ship that I had you pick some stuff up from.
Mm.
So there was a bit of a storm not too long ago. Nobody's sure exactly where it came from. Came right out of nowhere. He holds up a hand, which you can see that it's bandaged pretty poorly and sort of just all together. He was holding the ropes, got a real bad just tear across the skin on him. Yeah, if you want to take a look at that, maybe you can fix those bandages up for him. There's some space in the back room, so you don't need to do it on the counter out here.
Oh, good. I was gonna ask. All right, John. Then can you follow me? I can
Yeah.
see if I can redo those at least.
Yep.
All right, and I'll go to the back room.
Yep.
Well, first things first. These bandages probably need to be reapplied. If you could hold out your hand, and I can take those off.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. He's in a lot of pain, that's all I can say.
That's fair.
Yeah, this would just be a medicine. Now, treat wounds is a DC 15 check, so
Let's hope I get this good then. There we go.
there we go. Now, treat wounds as a thing. Let me pull it up for you so I can explain it in a little bit more detail. Treat wounds basically is a 10-minute activity where you just treat wounds. It's a DC 15 medicine check, which can change depending on the circumstance and that sort of thing. Or if you're better at medicine, you can increase the DC for more healing. Now, on a success, which you have here, you heal the target for 2d8 hit points and their wounded condition is removed. So, if you roll 2d8. Very good.
Pretty good.
Indeed. Now, the healing, the wounded condition being removed is more for when people get downed, of course, because you get the wounded condition from being knocked unconscious. John here didn't technically have the wounded condition, but let's just say medicine is pretty important for the whole situation so he doesn't get an infection.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So after a couple of minutes, you just sort of move, you use the tools you have to reset some things, move the bandages around, and just actually apply them properly. You even use a little bit of the alcohol, the pure alcohol stored here to sanitize it a fair bit.
There you go. Is that feeling any better?
Not much. I mean, I can't feel too much anymore, but that's a pretty big improvement.
Well, hopefully in a few days that'll actually start to recover a bit better.
Well, I can move it now, so that's already a pretty big improvement.
Well, I don't think I can do too much more, but if it gets worse, I guess you can come back.
Yeah. He reaches into his coat and pulls out a bag and just counts out 5 silver and just hands it over.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Yep. Thank you. And he stands and heads back out to the main room to return to his drink.
Alright. Well, that actually was pretty successful.
Oh yeah, he came walking out of there looking a lot better than he has all day. Hasn't said more than 2 words given his situation till now.
Yeah, I can imagine. Didn't look good.
Well, glad to have you working here then. Now, As for running the bar, you don't gotta do too much. Just give people what they order. And I'm gonna head out. I gotta deliver a meal to a... wouldn't exactly call him a friend. Wouldn't exactly call him a colleague. Another shopkeeper, we'll call him that. Another shopkeeper. Need to go deliver him a meal that he ordered a bit ago.
Mm-hmm.
Just keep an eye on things here, would you?
Yeah, sure thing. Doesn't sound too hard.
And she heads out of the tavern itself. And, honestly, like I said, this is probably going to be the shortest of the Session Zeros because there isn't really much else to say. Aerin has found themselves in Riverford, working at the bar as both a doctor and a bartender and deliveryman, basically doing the odd jobs that are needed both around town and for Ricky to stay here. Of course, he's given a room here in the tavern for free, just to stay here.
Yes!
And within a little bit of time, he's able to pick up some better clothing and the gear that he has up at the beginning of Session 1. Because he just feels like he should have it. Something about it calls to him as he's going around. Not necessarily that, it's special in any way, but just that he feels like he needs to have it on him. Maybe it was stuff he lost during whatever occurred that left him stranded on the beach. And there we are. Now, of course, this took place on the 2nd of the Season of Rain, meaning that it's been about 20 days, give or take, since Aerin arrived in town before Xenovera and Briar do. So he's settled in a decent bit, though not completely. And during the times when they did end up in town, it just happened that Aerin was out doing random odd jobs, either going to a house call in the case of Briar, where somebody needed to be patched up because they fell off their roof, or collecting things from the free sale when Xenovera arrived. They probably passed by each other, just didn't notice.
And fell off the roof. God damn it.
Look, some dude fell off the roof and really hurt his leg, okay? And that'll be it. I hope you guys enjoyed Session 0 for Aerin. That'll be the last of the Session 0s, and next week we'll begin the Session 1s, where the campaign begins for real.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have anything more to say, so we're just gonna end the stream. And yeah. Oh, that reminds me, Green, you were given a reroll.
Oh.
Yeah. It was unnecessary for the 2 rolls you did, so I didn't mention it, but you're given a reroll, and because this was a Session 0, I'm gonna carry that over into the Session 1.
Nice. Cool.
So just mark down on your hero points that you have 2. As with all those hero points, you can only hold 3 at a time. Even if people try to give you more, I'll figure it out. But you can only carry 3 hero points at a time. One of them refreshes every session, and then hero points 2 and 3 are basically like empty. Like they're basically empty slot potions. Basically, you spend them, you get them back. You spend them, you get them back. But yeah.
Got it.
Okay. And that's just so everybody knows about it. That's why I'm saying it while the stream's still going. Anyway, see you guys next time.